hastily called, due out of respect for the timeline outlined by the Army Corps of Engineers that ends this Friday or tomorrow, regarding the comment period for the Sable Trail project. You have before you a letter, and it has been reviewed by our council. There are 2 corrections that need to be made to that letter. Under U.S. Corporation of Engineers should be U.S. Corps of Engineers, which is spelled C-O-R-P, Corporation. And then in the very first sentence of the letter, formally should be formally instead of formerly. So I apologize for that. I hope that the letter captured the embodiment of what the board wanted. If there are any objections to anything in the letter, or if there's any discussion that we need to have regarding it, we should do so. And I'll read the letter into the record, I guess, before we give you some time to think about it. It says, this letter is addressed to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Regulatory Division, attention Mark Evans. Post office box is as indicated, which it was given to me by him. The reference project number is SAJ-2013-03030. It says, Dear Mr. Evans, the Board of County Commissioners in Suwannee County would like to formally object to any activity that would negatively impact the environment of our state, especially within the borders of our county. We believe the ecology above the ground and the karst geology below the ground are sensitive, and any proposed impacts of them must be considered with a great deal of scrutiny. The Southeast Market Pipeline, and more specifically the Sable Trail Transmission Project, are under review by your agency at this time. We respectfully request that you deny entry of this pipeline into our state and our county based on the significant impact concerns expressed by the United States Environmental Protection Agency in its October 26, 2015 letter, and attached comments to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission draft environmental impact statement. Contained within the EPA statement and comments are impacts to the Floridan aquifer and sensitive geologic formations, karst, that are unresolvable in any manner short of abandonment. The pristine nature of this area should be left intact. We feel the impact statement by the EPA is a true representation of the facts surrounding this project and are irrefutable. So in closing, we stand by the EPA's interpretation of this matter and will respect within our deliberative process any further correspondence from them. Respectfully, Jason Sharp. Is there anything that you would like changed or corrected in this letter?
I'd just like to make a comment, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner?
I guess it's just by nature. My family, we just like to fuss about stuff. And not that we can resolve any issues here. I've never made it I never had any issues with the gas line itself. And I'm going to support the letter. However, reluctantly, I just got to express some concerns. Again, I know we can't solve them here, but it just my business depends very heavily on energy, and over the last 15 years, things have changed such in our economy. It's increasingly difficult. Net margins essentially have closed, or not closed, but they have decreased. Net margins have decreased over the last 15 years. Yes, I might be making more money gross, but energy costs, insurance, taxes, all these things that go into play make it increasingly difficult for businesses to run. My only concern in the long run is as we continue, as our government continues to put more and more limitations on energy plants and how we run our businesses, how we run our very homes. Energy is going to cost more and more money, and it's going to get more and more difficult. The gas line, natural gas especially, provides an avenue and an opportunity, I think, for these energy plants to run efficiently and environmentally safe. And again, this is an effort. We've had gas lines that have traversed this county for decades without incident. And I feel like the gas line does not pose a serious issue in that relation. And I think it's necessary in the long run that power plants, especially in South Florida, where demand is immense, again, that they can't ship coal down there and use it. We don't want nuclear plants running down there. Natural gas is a very viable alternative. I just can't help but express my concern that, down the road, it's just, as time goes on, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher for folks to make them. And energy costs are going to be reflective in our homes, businesses. We're just going to make it harder and harder on ourselves. So I do have concerns. I want to make sure that everything we do through this county is safe, ecologically. But anyway, like I said, I just have some frustration about it. I don't want it to be dangerous. I don't want it to cause any problems for our environment. I don't think it will. I initially started this because of the compressor station and its specific location. I didn't like that. And the board has expressed concern that we just don't want to have the project altogether. And so, I don't want it to be a 4-1, although I don't have a problem with opposition. I just think if the board decides if it's specific that this is what they want to do, we need to have a unified front, and I understand that. But again, I can't help but share my concerns, and I thank you for your patience and apologize for this lengthy conversation, but I just felt like I wanted to say it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I've got one too.
Okay, just one second. Don't apologize for the length of time. We're here to deliberate on this. I hope that there's some lengthy discussion myself, so I will reserve some time as well. So with that, Mr. Sessions.
I've got some comments too, and I echo a lot what Wesley has to say. In the business world, you've got needs. Florida's filling up like a glass of water. The more people come to Florida, I don't know what the stat is now, but it's probably 900 or so a day move to Florida. So we're going to have increasing needs for energy. The power plants need different and diverse ways to fuel them to produce energy as cheap as possible. And I understand those needs. The plant over there in Palatka uses coal. And some people are against coal, but it's a cheap resource and it's done a good job for many years. And like Wesley said, we probably won't ship coal down to Tampa or wherever down the state, but they've got to have ways to produce energy. On the other hand, there's different routes that can be taken to get this energy to them or get this gas to those people. I am the newest portion of the board here, and prior to me coming to the board, there was meetings. There weren't hearings. I was told there were hearings, but there was meetings that were had in this general area about this issue coming up, but never any in Suwannee County. So when I got involved, I felt like there was nothing that had happened here, not knowing what had happened prior in the prior couple of years in other counties around us. So I would like to show a united front with this county board to oppose the pipeline coming through here, especially with our topography and with our geology that we have. I don't see that, I don't know if we can stop anything coming through here, but it's just our word as a board to avoid it. I think there's better ways to go to bring the energy to Florida. We're all going to need it. And I think picking a different route or a different way would be better than bringing it across where it says it's going now, across with Lakuchi to Suwannee and then back across to Suwannee again. So I'm just worried about our environment and the type of geology we have underneath us sitting right on top of the Florida aquifer. So I'm not against energy. I'm just against it bringing it through such a delicate situation or delicate part of our state. So that's really about all I have to say about it.
Thank you, Mr. Sessions. Anybody else? Okay.
I just wanted to address something in the letter. On the second paragraph, so we respectfully request that you do not enter this pipeline into our state or county. My two big concerns have been the river crossing and the compressor station. Not necessarily concerned with the pipeline coming through the county. I don't know that I'm in favor of the letter the way it currently reads, deny coming through the state or county. I believe there may be better places to cross the river. They've gone across the river in the past, and I feel like we were kind of misled on the compressor station. I think there's better places they could put it, with less dense population. So that's on where I want to go with it on my concerns on the letter. As far as pipeline, I haven't been opposed to it from the beginning, I'm not opposed to it now. If I'm going to support a letter, I'd like to support it more addressing the concerns of the river crossing and the compressor station.
My comments will kind of start in the past, a little historical data. Under pressure during the George W. Bush administration from the environmental movement, we were asked to curb our appetite for fossil fuel. During that election cycle, where Mitt Romney and President Obama were running, T. Boone Pickens came forward as an industry leader and said, okay, if you guys want to get off of coal and petroleum, then the bridge fuel is natural gas. That set us on a path toward the industry saying, okay, we'll find it. So they found it. The local governing boards of the states in the Midwest said, yes, we want to produce this and gain the benefit of that. So they did. They allowed that to occur, and it has happened, and natural gas has been produced. Now, today, that natural gas has to get to the market. Market is, to get it to market, we either have to send it by train, by truck, or by pipeline. And so it becomes